Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How's it going? I'm all discombobulated. Don't you just love that word? I came in here to turn all my stuff on and everything was acting weird. So whenever that's the case, I just have to completely shut down the computer and start over. And that's such a pain in the butt, but here we are. So how's it going, guys? Today was my Friday, and I'm so glad the work week is over. So for those of you who got one more day, well, hang on in there. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Thanks for coming to hang out. Welcome in, Sherry Cole. Always good to see you. Captain Price II. Amanda K. Thanks for re-upping your membership, and maybe, did you get a higher tier? Well, anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. Also, big thanks to Diana Sudrith and Shannon Rajmakers. Raj. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that weird. Y'all are amazing. We're getting very close. So very close. iPhones are the only real phone. You think that because you've been brainwashed into believing that the iPhone is somehow the top of the line in technology and innovation, and yet they steal everything Samsung's doing like 3 years after the fact. So you can have your opinion, but you're wrong. Welcome in, everybody. What a question tonight. We're gonna start a fight, right? Y'all be sure to hit that like button before we get started. I went back and forth like all week about what I was going to stream tonight because I had no idea. It was down to kind of three things. It was going to be Palea prep for the new update coming out next week. Bookshop Simulator got an update. Or I was like, well, maybe I could just play Dinkum. So here we are. Do you... A mod. I don't really use mods, Captain Price II. I don't really need them because we've got the auto shout outs, and usually if people are acting stupid, I just boot them. Hey, Jeff, phone. I use it more for YouTube. I think all of us just use it to watch videos on it, don't we? I mean, it doesn't really serve much functionality otherwise, other than spam calls. Okay, so we are on my creative island of Catalina, and I thought it might kind of be fun for a lot of the new folks who've requested I do a tour to just chill, have a chill night. It's been a long week, and I've gotten maybe like 3 hours of sleep each night, and so I'm kind of tired, and I was feeling devoid of all creativity, but also not very energetic to play something unfamiliar. So here we are. So for those of you who don't know, I started a series like, gosh, 2 years ago or more, where I took my very first Dinkum island, this one, Catalina, and decided to give it a massive makeover. This was the first island I started when the game came out almost 4 years ago. And my original town was just right here. Like, it took up this tiny little area just right here on this corner. And as you can see now, we've got a pretty massive map. So it's come a long way. And there is a playlist on the channel, like the Extreme Makeover series or something like that, where I do a tour and then we get started redoing. And the very first thing I did was Town Hall, or the Residence Center, or whatever we call that in Dinkum. I'm totally like, woo! I used to have an Android. I have to go through acrobatics to send you a photo that you can actually get. Our phones do not play well together. That's because your iPhone is a closed system. I've told you this. Android plays well with everyone. So, I figured I'd just start, I figured we'd just start on the eastern side of the island and work our way over, which is basically how I did this. I started here and then did this, and then we did John's. So it's almost in a chronological order, almost. So this is John's. Now this area out here, I do want to turn that into like a farmer's market or something. I got to this point and was just like, I don't know what else to do here. So we're just going to hang tight on that for a minute. But we got John's store. This fencing and these light posts had just come out when I did this. So, of course, you know, I used them everywhere. But this is his backflow. This is his his overflow. Not backflow. Overflow. Overstock. That's the word. That's the word. And so then you got to come over here, and this is where the ship docks to bring him his goods. And there's more stuff like scattered about. And we had to redo this little dock because what was here got turned into like that blue pontoon bridge stuff, and that was not cute. But if you'll notice, Jeff, it's always sunny wherever you are. Yes, yes it is. We've got this lovely waterfall that was built in conjunction with Jersey Games and Shelly Marie and Januki, maybe? There was like 1 or 2 other people here that night, and for whatever reason, I am drawing a giant blank, but they helped make that happen. And there was a funny thing where Shelly said, oh yeah, do this place item command, because we were trying to get these to plop down, and it ended up putting the airship in the middle of all that. And we had to do some creative tinkering to get that out. So the idea here was to we've got John's, and he's an importer-exporter of goods and goods, not services. But he might have some sort of seedy underbelly ties. And so we decided to build this little pirate cove area over here. It's like a little pirate hideaway. And we did do some place item commands to bring up the wrecked ship from the Summer Isles. Quick disclaimer, I do want to say that for anybody who's playing around with this kind of thing, be very careful. I'm not going to give a tutorial on how to do it just because it can screw up your game. So maybe be very cautious, be very careful how you place down things that aren't really meant to be there. And then we did make some of the trees a lot bigger. We have this the cave, right? This is where we stash some of our bounty. Because I can't really do a cave. The idea was to pretend like you could go through here. Like here's the cave. And if you went down, it would take you to that little area we were just at. And then, of course, you've got the pirate ship that was out there, out in the distance. And then we've got the little pirates hideaway over here. And I dirt printed some tents because at the time we did not have tents in the game. And I had to elevate our campfire because I kept catching on fire, which is always the case. Rymanora, hello. Yeah, you know what? This was the one where Reeps came into this stream and he was like, this is a cool idea. I want to copy it. And then he went and did it like 1,000 times better. Welcome in, guys. How are y'all? So yeah, we got a little dunny and everything. So this was cute. This was fun. It was something different. We had like a whole story going with this, which I don't ever do when I'm building something in Dinkum. It's just what it is. But this one had a weird story because I was like, John is a little shady. I know, right? He's all like, that's a cool idea. Let me show you how you can do it better. And he did. It was good. It was so good. I felt very honored that something I did inspired him. Because that didn't happen very often. When I see him in the afterlife, it's on site. Yep, for real. And then I never know what to do with the visitors area, right? We've got kind of like this, sort of this like tropical vibe happening over here. So I use the rope fence, not the rope fence. What is this? A bridge. It's a bridge. And it's over here by a teletower. It needs dogs and cats. I know, right? There's no music. There's no music in the game right now. There's no like game sounds. That's weird. So whenever I don't know what to do, no, we can't have the rain. I just make it overgrown. It looks really cool when there's a tent here. And there's like a little pond. We have dogs, Jeff. We need cat. That's true. We have the wild dogs. That's true. We do need cats. We need koalas. We need some snakes. I make it more authentic. But anyway, so this is the little visitors area. It's real, you know, got a teletower here. You can go, you know, anywhere, assuming you came and visited, except that when friends come to visit, they actually land in your town hall. So yeah, eventually I'll have to do something with this big wide open area, but for now it's empty. But if we come over here, no snakes. You don't get a vote. This is where we get into like the main area where the new town is. Wild dog equal wolf. No, but no, there's the ruse. They're like the diggos. Oh, come on, just a whittle snake. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be an anaconda. When we got the bell tower, I was like, I have the perfect place for that. And then we had to make a cute little courtyard to sit in. This had all been just completely blank for the longest time. So I was really glad that the bell tower gave me some inspo. Dingoes. Maybe the dingo ate y'all, baby. So then Sunny and I built this fountain on a stream. And then we had to copy it. And of course, that's always a disaster. Before we got the pergolas with all the hanging vines, this is how we faked that. I have a, what is this? Festoon pole with the vines, and then we've got the pergola, and then we've got the acacia tree to kind of look like you've got all this foliage growing on it. Rare dogs, which are based off real dog breeds. Yes. You're very tired of a giant orange snake? What orange snake are you talking about? So yeah, this is the town hall area. I knew I wanted to do a lot more elevated stuff on this build because everything in my first island was just flat. That's running your country. Oh. We're so inundated every day with crazy shit that man does that you become desensitized to it all, to be honest. New York trip to visit Seinfeld locations. So here we are. I guess I could have made it a wider walkway, but who wants to do that? Zach, hello. National Strawberry Month. Yum. We'll get to that over there in a minute. But I think at the time, this is as high as a dirt printed as you can get in the game. And I was just like, you know, Fletch needs to be able to lord over everyone. That's how tired and clueless I am right now. I do believe that this area was made possible by, who was it? I think it was April Honey and Sunny came over, maybe Rebecca did some dirt printing, you know, good old minions. There's probably somebody else that I'm forgetting, and I do apologize. It was like 2 years ago, to be fair, and I can't remember what happened yesterday, so I can never live in Australia because I'm afraid of all the things here. Basically, Texas is Australia, just in the United States. So you made it here and you're fine. I love me a good tree-lined walkway. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. That's just perfection, right? This is still one of my favorite things. I liked it. I liked it. And then you've got this root up here. I don't know what the hell they're doing. What are they doing? Look at that. Yeah, know what? It's fine. They're off their meds today. And then over here, this was the very next thing we built. And I think Misty came over and helped with this. Maybe Susan. I know Sunny did. Look, oh my God. Don't look at my crappy mowing. This little bordered edge that you see here with all the rocks and the foliage and the plants and the flowers, that was Sunny's idea. She did all that. You missed the princess crown. The cat ears are superior. So we've got our bandstand where all the town events happen. It's pretty cool to watch them milling around during like a Dinkum day, you know, your island day or whatever. Some of this is based off of real places, like these seating areas. I need to understand why I keep getting all these text messages that are spam. Is anybody else having that issue? Because I didn't for the longest time. And now all of a sudden I'm getting them like crazy. I feel like somebody gave out my cell phone number as a punishment or something. Some sort of revenge. And then, of course, the amazing, the wonderful, and the always unique Benny Elementrix. He built this little waterfall here. I think for him this was pretty small, but it looks amazing. We have a giant smelly orange snake running our country with a bunch of sock puppets in this administration. Smelly sock puppets. Oh, we got some camping. See, I don't want to update any of these areas because it's almost like it's like a timestamp of where we were in the game when I built this, and we had just gotten new items. These stumps were pretty new, I think, at the time. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool to go back and look and see what was going on in the game at the time I built it. You know, it's almost like a time capsule, if you will. Smelly sock puppets with holes. Yes. And then we've got our boat rental shop. Look at how cool that turned out. We got the boat up there. You come in and you rent your little boat, right? And then you get in and then you go boating all around the little bay there. I can't believe the game sounds are so low. Pisses me off how good this island is. What? No, you could do it. Can I be bad at something? Yes, at many things, actually. Life. I'm bad at life. We got our little wish fountain. But I really like that we did this natural fencing here. Sunny was a genius. I need to get her to come back and do more of that in other places. All right, let's scoot around and take our little booties over this away. Don't mind that. I could do it if I spent my island, open my island up and just let you run around. I mean, there is that. So if you come over here to one of these, you know, overgrown areas with all the trees and stuff, you go through here, you come around, and you've got this beautiful, like, waterfall situation coming off the back of Fletch's. She's bad at ignoring other people's dogs. What? I'm bad at taking care of animals in this game in general. This idea... This idea was stolen from Boozy Loomer. She had this really great mountain lodge that she did, and I really liked that had like this waterfall thing coming down the back of it, and like a bridge moment, you know, in the back. And I was like, I'm stealing that. So I did. Look at this. Isn't this cute? This was a nightmare to try to figure out. So pretend like there's water under this bridge. Grammy Cube, welcome in. Hey, Aaron of Nova Scotia, how's it going? Because bridges don't go over water boxes. I ignore their dogs. What the hell are you even talking about? I ignore dogs. I wanted to pet all the dogs I saw. So then you come over here, and again, I wanted to elevate some of these buildings because in my first island, everything was just flat. So we put the Tucker box way up here. And this lovely little cove area was made possible by Steffa. She knew I was about to talk about her. And here she comes. Her and Sunny actually helped me build this, if I'm not mistaken. And look at how amazing it turned out. See, right, you're under the impression that I did all these things by myself. I didn't. I mostly just hired out help and sat back and watched. I'm good at delegation. Hey, Darcy, dogs are the best. I saw so many dogs on my trip. It was fantastic. Yeah, look at what the ladies did. They did such a good job. You got these little piers where you can sit and drink your drinks. Oh, I'm bad at ignoring dogs. Oh, yeah. I'm bad at ignoring all animals. I'm all like, ooh, animal, cute. I get distracted. Be right back. Gonna lurk. No problem. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm running off of fumes these days. But we got this little picnic area over here to the side because there was all this open space. And I was like, we got to do something with this, right? And this is where you can come after you order from the Tucker box and you want to eat your food and have a little picnic and a barbecue. And you can come and listen to John and the Melonheads. They play John Mellencamp covers, just FYI, in case you didn't know. You got to see it at nighttime because it really does pop a lot more at night. So let's get that going. Look at that. How's that? Isn't that cute? I did come and redo the floor on this with the glowing pathway because it was just too good to not come and make that happen. But that's one of my favorite little Easter eggs. I remember watching you build this and joining in. Yes, right? It was a lot of fun. A lot of good memories with a lot of friends on this island, actually, after all these years. And your genius in helping us get this going. So that's some of the first builds we did. And then I came over here and I started working on creating like a downtown center square. So you come over this bridge, and this is where my original town used to be, right here. Literally just in a line. You got your snack. Yay! What's for snacking? I have changed a few things. Hey, look at this! Hey, right, your boyfriend's here. Oh, wait, no, it's the other one. Milburn. They're a couple of old men. What can you do? They all kind of look the same a little bit, don't they? But we got ourselves a little ice cream shop, and this was fun to do. I forget what was here before, but it was not as cute. Milburn, I know, sorry. And then we've got just a shop here. I put some stuffed animals out, like, here's a little puppy. We got mannequins out with clothes on, trying to mimic some population here. Snacking on some Colby Jack cheese, yum. But since we can't get wigs in this game, apparently, everyone is bald. Or wearing a weird bonnet in the sunshine. So we've got some of the NPCs here in this downtown area. We've got Sally and Clover. And then across from them is Milburn, Rymanora's boyfriend. And Melvin's shop. And they make up the four corners of the square here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That was intentional at the time. You know, like, this will be cool. Like, we'll anchor the downtown with some shops. And then we, you know, I kind of minimally decorated around them just because the square itself is kind of the showpiece. But, and then we've got the post office. It's so weird seeing the old tile redone and how the buildings look now with that texture on it. And some of these are just dirt printed buildings. I was really hoping for some wigs too. I know. I'm going to be on his butt about that until he gives me a damn wig. Oh, this one's naked. Oops. Just kidding. This is Jersey Seaside Cafe. This is like a replica of one that he did a tutorial for like years ago. How cute is that? I think I changed it up a little bit as I do. Hey, Elena, how's it going? Welcome! And look at that view of the Tucker box from over here. I'm sorry, Fletch's Town Hall. What's it called? Not Resident Services, that's Animal Crossing. Town Hall, right? Town Hall. I'm not crazy. Just a little bit. And then I dirt printed a post office, and then we've got this little market. This I stole from Sunny's Island. She designed this, and so I stole it. Good, I'm glad to hear it. And we got like a little farmer's market out here. And then my bookstore, dirt printed a bookstore. We're going to get to that in a minute. But I figured I'd cover all of downtown real quick. This was redone after we got these little statues in one of the updates and those clocks. You're not crazy. You're just a little unwell. Yes, thank you, Matchbox 20. The police station I thought was actually kind of clever. And at nighttime, it's got the red and blue floor lights. And it looks pretty cool. And we use the bus station to create this like caged in, this is the yard. This is the yard for the prisoners. The yard, you know? For those of you who've done heavy time, you might know what I'm talking about. And then we've got a courthouse over here. I get it wrong every time, Sunny, so don't listen to me on how it's pronounced because I probably just did it wrong. It's impossible being sane in a crazy world. Jeff, you speak the truth. Okay, so we can go... I think we need to go this way because this will be the first... Well, hang on. It's kind of hard to do this in any kind of, like, rational order. I tell you what, let's go back this way because this will take less time. This little rainbow row house area was made during Pride Month 2 years ago. And I had Megan come over, and I think Sunny was here. Jeff, you have a very high bar if you expect the same in today's world. I don't think he does. 120 away from 3K. I know, right? I'm very excited. I think we can make it by my 3-year channel anniversary in June. So anyway, these turned out pretty cute. I mean, they're very plain, and I thought about redoing them, and then I got to thinking, you know what? It definitely just, it's a, like I said, a timestamp of that particular time when I was building. And then we made the little water area into the shape of a heart. Elena. Will you update the tiles to the new concrete or leave it as is? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I walk by here sometimes during a stream and I'll be like, oh, I should probably update this. But I'm got to thinking, like, I mean, I might make it to where it looks like it has doors more than it does currently, but yeah, I think it just kind of, hey, this is what we were doing then. And I feel like it shows too, like, the evolution. We were both wrong. Yeah, I'm always wrong. And then over here, I did my house. The timestamp is cool though, right? Yeah, I was thinking, because I was like, I'll go back through all the builds and update as updates, update the areas as he updates the game. And then I thought, but then where's the nostalgia, Hey, Christian Henry, how's it going? By the way, guys, if you haven't, please hit that like button for me. Please, please, please. All right, so this is my house. Now, before we go and look around, again, I want to say I highly advise against doing what I just did over here. Do as I say and not as I do. How about that? If you do so at your own risk because this can be very dangerous. But I wanted my house to look a little more grand than it did. I wanted it to look a little bigger, if you will. And so I dirt printed around it and I placed item pergolas to do that. At the time, that's how you had to do that. And, well, anyway, I would not do this if I were you. This could be a disaster. It didn't end up being a disaster, but it could have been very easily, and I could have screwed up my game really bad. I say leave the old to showcase how it started. Yeah. I mean, considering where it started originally when I first started playing Dinkum, if you look at that first live stream in the series, like the first 15 or 20 minutes is like just a tour of that area, and then see it now, it's like, holy crap. So yeah, we've got my house area. This was cute. I featured this, I think, on a video. We got a little picnic area over here. You're exhausted? I say take a number. That's all of us today. Exhaustion is just the name of the game. Also, hot tip for anybody who didn't know, elevate your campfires lest you want to set yourself on fire repeatedly. But look at that view. Look at it. Isn't it pretty? You can place them now, so no biggie if you want to do it. Yeah. But back then, and even then I'd be real careful about... This one, I did the place item command because I wanted to be able to dirt print everywhere except that, that one corner. So, probably not the smartest thing ever. Jingle bells! How's it going? Welcome! And then I put these little bridges down just for, like, fun. Because, like, what a cool little element of texture and wood, right? It is funny when I set myself on fire. I do have videos of a lot of this, actually. Or live streams. So then, if you come back this way, you've got the guest houses. I gotta tell you, I had the most fun. I really got back into Dinkum when I think it was the 1.0 release, and we got the extra, what are these called? Guest houses. And doing all the decorating in them and the outside. I did a whole video on this specifically because I was just like, damn, this turned out good. I'm really proud of myself. And I had a lot of fun, and it really got me back into Dinkum after kind of a bit of a dry spell. But each one is kind of themed. I think we all have set ourselves on fire at least once or twice, or 50 million times. Save a backup every time you play. Oh yeah. I put all of my backups on my cloud on Dropbox. So if anything ever happens to my computer and I had to get a new one, I could just dial it back up. So anyway, yeah, it's themed. Could you guess the theme on this one with the furniture and the decor? And then over here's another one. Like I said, I had a ton of fun making these. I don't know what it was about getting the guest houses, because we had 3 of them, but I just, having a 4th one just made this idea. Yeah, I mean, that's the only safe way to do it. I need to back up my game saves for other games that I really don't want to lose what I have. So I decorated each room, every house. I think this one's one of my favorites. I know, right? This was one of my favorite things to build, and it's like everything mirrors each other, and but I really do love the cul-de-sac I did in my vanilla island. It's not as well decorated, but it's pretty cute. And then the other 2 houses are back here. Don't mind the trucks that are digging into the ground. And I tried to like vary up how you come into the space and how the rooms are laid out. But yeah, this neighborhood build really got me back into Dinkum hardcore, because I had been playing other things and only playing Dinkum just occasionally. Oh, and I really like this one too. But then green, I do really love me some green. Oops, sorry. I do have a problem with monochrome, don't I? It is a sickness that I have. So we've got this little water feature area. I figure, and what neighborhood is complete without some kind of property value increase, right? It's cool how creative you are with what is essentially the same stuff. Like everything feels so different and unique. Well, thank you. I feel like everybody did this though. At the time, I thought I was being this super original, like, pioneer with ideas. And then it was just like, oh, duh. Like everybody's gonna make a neighborhood. Doing okay. Chilling with bronchitis? No. Ugh. Dude, I just finally, after 2 months, have like I had that cough for forever. Is this what heaven looks like? Yes, Jeff. And then over here, we have this cute little playground. So this is definitely, all of what we've been looking at is a lot more small scale stuff, right? So we've looked at, okay, so we're ticking along okay. I say we go up here and look at the museum build, because that's gonna take a minute. And it makes sense to go there next anyway, because it was one of the other things I did in a conjunction to this area. And Jersey and I think spent 2 streams building this. And I was like, oh yeah, you have like this area here where this center. It's like, let's make it about that big. And then he was like, can we make it this big? And I was like, okay. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Such a great content creator in one room. I know, right? I've got all the famous people in here. I feel very privileged today. You can actually already see the museum build from all the way over here in Jupiter. I know, right? I told him, I was like, dude, I don't need to be able to see the museum from space. And we're going to pretend like you can't see that other build over there on the left side of the screen right now. We'll get to that in a minute. This we did together. I think it was the biggest thing he had built at the time. But I do think Miss Susanwit's airport now is the biggest build Jersey's ever done. Apparently I'm a delicate little being. Oh no. I had that upper respiratory infection that started right about the time of my dad's funeral, and I could not shake that for the longest time. So, this is a museum. Now, Sunny and I had to copy all of these flower beds and all of the waterways and bridges. Jersey's like, I'll lay down the first thing and then you guys do the rest. But we added the display cases after those came out because I was like, that's just too good of an item to not add to the museum build. There's a bin chicken. But I thought it was pretty cool because, like, it really does make an interesting shape on the map. And, you know, Jersey with his very big geometric builds, it's pretty amazing. I gotta be honest. I never dreamed of anything quite so massive. But he did a fantastic job, and it took so much brain power to make this build happen because there was a lot of counting. Oh my God, so much counting. And I think we messed up on something, and so Sunny and I had to go back and fix it because we were trying to copy what he had done. But yeah, it looks like one of those really amazing, like, manicured English gardens too, in a way. You're doing better. Yeah. And then I really loved how he put the museum up here, and then he designed these fake buildings to kind of go with it to really enlarge the size of the museum to, you know, kind of match the scope of what we were doing, the build from space. It really, I mean, I teased him for the longest time, but I'm not kidding. Look at that. Before the museum, before the library build, and before me and Boozy's winery, Vineyard, whatever you want to call that, this was the biggest thing on my island, and it was just massive. So much counting and hours of trying to recreate that. I know. Oh my God. It gave me a bit of a headache. But I loved this fake building, and so I did a tutorial video on my channel on how to replicate this. It's so cute, and you can do it so many different ways if you want. I really like it. He did such a fantastic job making this look like it's all one big building. Look at that. I know. Oh my God. I still tease him about it. And then I got mad and told him, I'm mad that you usurped your masterpiece by building that giant island-size airport on Susan's Island. It really is. I think the building is actually my favorite, just because, I mean, like, look at that. Like, that's just, it's just, I don't know. It just looks so good. The whole thing is really, he did just a superb job. I was just here. But yeah, we had to replicate everything from one side to the next. And that was not easy. And Sunny and I worked on that for a long, long time. Real quick, I'll show you what it looks like at night, because it does kind of have a bit of a glow. Isn't that pretty at nighttime? You're back from outer space. Look, there's Theo. I do think the NPCs on my island get stuck from time to time because they're so far away from, like, their path of where they're supposed to go. But yeah, the lighting in this also turned out really, really good. Anyway, let's take it back to daytime so we can see the rest of the town. Okay, so. Hey, Pam Cooper. Welcome, Jim Singh. Also good to see you in lurk mode. No problem. We love our lurkers. Welcome, lurkers. So this is the main downtown area, and then all of a sudden I decided, you know what? We need, like, a main street. So let's take a walk, shall we? One of the first things I built, and I did this for a video, and I decided to leave it, and then it became part of the whole build, is this jazz club. And one of my favorite things about this, and this, I kind of stole this from Stefafa, this building idea. She did it, I think, on one of her islands. I don't know if it was for, it wasn't for the French Quarter, I don't think. It's for something else, but I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. I'm swiping it. Swipe or no swiping? Well, I took it anyway. My favorite thing is this little light covered alleyway. This was inspired by our coffee shop that we used to own downtown, and in the back alley we had all these string lights in the back hanging over the little patio tables just like this, that we would sit back there after hours and have chats with friends and stuff. It was a whole other lifetime ago. But yeah, we've got this seating area up here, and of course you got all the parking down there that I think Susan and Sunny and Rebecca made, if I'm not mistaken, or Regina and Rebecca. I don't know, pull a name out of a hat, it was one of them. And at nighttime, it looks pretty snazzy also. A little bright, but pretty cool. It was Motel on Bourbon Street, maybe? I can't remember, you know what? It might have been. Now that you say that, it might have been. Anyway, I stole it. And then I got the idea to do a wine bar. This was fun to do. I had a lot of fun doing this. I took and swiped several ideas from several different inspiration pictures. What fence is that with the glass? Like, oh, back here? It's the glass fence. Glass fence. It's a recipe you can get from Franklin or down in the mines. Hey, King Mac, welcome. Good to see you. Didn't you and Megan make the alley? No. I think I did that by myself that day. I'll show you one of the builds that Megan and I did on this island together. But this wasn't it. And then Sunny helped me do this wine bar. A lot of placing down of pergolas so that I could place things in basically every square underneath it except for the one. It's kind of hard to see in here. It was kind of hard to decorate, not gonna lie. I want a tall version of that fence. I know, right? So we've got the wine bar, and I like using the kegs up there like that, layered. It gives you that, like, I don't know. That effect. And, of course, you gotta have a bathroom, just in case. But we built a big fire pit, basically. And this is when the leather furniture came out, and I was like, oh, this will be perfect for that. But, like, you get your wine, you sit in here, or you come down here by the fire pit and talk with your friends. So that was fun to do. Hard, because you're having to deal with a very limited field of view. But I think it turned out good. And I really love this idea that I stole from one of my island tours. She used screens as windows, and I just thought that looked super, super cool. And then we built an Italian restaurant. I got real creative with the name there. The Sweet Life. So you got these little private VIP dining areas, and then you come up here, and here's some of the other restaurants. You can't really logically get in and out of here very well, but it looks pretty cool. It's not functional, but it looks good. Yeah, you did work on the fire pit with me. I kind of wish that the candelabras, that the flame in the candelabra wasn't that, like, weird neon green, but it's whatever. So I think this turned out pretty cute. Considering I think when I started the stream that day, I really had no idea what I was doing. And then over here, we decided to build like a hotel. And this kind of reminds me of the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas a little bit. Like a little bit. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? I'm definitely going to have to watch this from the beginning. I have creative block on my vanilla island. Oh. Well, hopefully this will help some people. Again, here's another, it was very difficult to build this. Let me go back down. I did want one of those, like, what is this called? Where you have the Oh, God. It'll come to me in a minute. But I thought that, you know, like a lot of fancy hotels, you know, have the pull-up and the valet parking and everything. But back here, and I think Regina helped with this back courtyard area. It's going well over here. Embroidery machine has been stitching all day. Woohoo! So this is the back, like, this is like a fancy, you know, imagine the Plaza Hotel. Fancy. Probably costs as much, too. So this is the back of the hotel with, like, this cool courtyard. If I could get up here, maybe I could get in and show y'all what the bedrooms look like. Yeah, also, this hotel is haunted, in case you didn't know. But you got the rooms. They're a little open air. It's like an open air concept. Don't mind the people next door. You know, you're kind of limited on space and stuff. I was just trying to do my best with whatever I had going on here at the time. Hey, Elizabeth, how's it going? Welcome. Time for pest control. I gotta go watch a show with the hubby. Well, thanks, Grammy Q, for coming to hang out. It's good to see you. And I hope you have a fantastic evening. Okay, and then I got the idea to do like a 50s diner. How cool is this? Hey, Rebecca, I was just talking about you. I thought this turned out pretty cute. I like... Dine. Who's the marshmallow head? That's the ghost. That's the ghost of the hotel. So the idea was to do like a typical like diner that, oh yeah, you can see where the thing is clipping into the printed blocks. And then this is supposed to be like the cars, you know, the little, oh God, you know what diners are usually in those like silver, anyway, you can, there's stuff in there, you can get in there. Well, if you can get in there, good luck. But I had fun putting this together. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and I am a little irritated with this clipping mechanism, but it is what it is. I did a boo-boo there. Pink is your favorite. I kind of feel like it just fit like the 1950s vibe, you know? And then we've got this antique store. Old. The old English spelling of it, too. We've got all kinds of junk in the display cases and whatnot. We got a million of buildings in my little downtown just like this, so I was like, that's pretty standard. And then one of my favorite builds is this Athens cinema. Sunny came over and helped me build this movie theater. Isn't this cute? I just bought this game a few days ago. Oh, you've got so much to do. You're gonna have the best time. The best time. It's the best game ever. But we based this on a picture. It was called Athens Cinema. I don't know if that's Athens, Texas, or where that is. I don't recall seeing anything like this in Athens, Texas when I've been. But anyway, it turned out really cute. And we used the bridges up here to create this like arched roof. One of us. And then we used the spotlights and everything. Isn't that pretty nifty? I think it looks so cool. We did such a good job. Sunny, congratulations. You did amazing on this build. Sorry, y'all. I'm turning my tins unit back on. Red carpet and everything. Ooh, Sarah, a new version of this with blue would be stunning too. I know, right? And you know how much I don't like red, so... Georgia, it could be Athens, Georgia, but I've been to Athens, Georgia, and I don't remember seeing a cinema like this either. That doesn't mean there wasn't one. But I had a lot of fun putting this together with her, and it turned out really good because we were like looking at a picture trying to figure out like how many blocks would that take up in Dinkum, and you know, it's math. There's a lot of math in Dinkum. You wouldn't think, but there is. And then we've got our little like ice cream or pastry shop. Do y'all recognize some key players here? I couldn't tint the skin blue. But that's supposed to be rye. You know, we're really limited. We've got cans. I need a wig, man. We've got Aussie nuts over here, which could also look like reaps, honestly. Is that Steph Afa? You mean this one? That's you goofball. Oh, you're asking, is that Steph in the chat? Yes, I know. She's amazing. And then we've got our little street fair with all these little, like, booths. Booths? Booths. Booths. Y'all know what I mean. And so each one is themed to, like, different things. And I had fun putting this together, too. You know, these little spaces here like this are, you know, for anybody playing in vanilla and is like, these are great builds, but like that's a lot of stuff and that would take a long time to amass the supplies to make that happen. This would not. These little kiosks are like perfect. So, booze. So then you got all of those, and then here we've got these like townhomes. And they kind of remind me of like the San Francisco painted ladies a little bit. Not that the pastel colors or anything, but just the kind of the in a row. Yeah, we had the little balconies and then the little facades on the front. I really liked how this turned out too. This is another one of those things where you're kind of like, I don't know where this is going, but I like it. Thanks, Sunny. And then, for those of you who don't know, I was like made famous in Dinkum by building a bunch of coffee shops on different people's islands. And so the coffee shop got an upgrade. Did she know I'm a bigger fan? Oh my God. I really enjoyed putting this together. This coffee shop, the version of this coffee shop is a replica, actually an improved upon replica of a coffee shop on the Strand in Galveston, Texas. And they had this really beautiful area outside in front of the cafe that's very much like this with these like pergolas. Actually, it was more like these trellises that had all this foliage just growing on it that, you know, created this beautiful like canopied area. And I had I was like, this is going to be such a great build. It's so much bigger than the one that it's based on. Hey, Susan, good to see you. Welcome. So yeah, it's based, a lot of these things are based on real life places. So people are like, how do you get your creativity? Where do you find the ideas? I steal them from real life. You can use the towels as a rug. And you've got this beautiful river view here on the back porch. Good times, good times. But yeah, I had fun getting this going. And then because I was in Galveston, you know, with this this new coffee shop build, I decided to build a little metaphysical shop down here that's based on one called the Witchery in Galveston. And you know, I feel like it's a pretty close representation to the actual shop. Hey, Catalina, welcome in. So yeah, and you can come back over here and you can get a tarot reading, or you can come over here and get like a crystal ball reading. I don't know. But yeah, it very much looks like the Witchery in Galveston. So that basically concludes the Main Street area, right? You got this entire strip here with all these different things we built over the course of many, many live streams. That was the most fun. My old is showing. And then Jersey Games and I teamed up again to the mushroom planter had particles. Yeah. Yeah, the little effervescence. Check it out. Isn't that cool? Do you play this game, Rye? I have a lot of work to do on my island. Nah. You'll get there. Okay, disclaimer, everyone. All of this stuff has taken at least 2 years to build. Okay? we used to do fan talking. Oh, yeah, Luke, I am your father. Yeah. um, so yeah, Jersey and I teamed up again to build a replica of the New York Public Library, which recently I got to see in real life and I was very excited about. But here we go, walking in. You're on day 2. See, yeah, you just baby steps. Baby steps, Elizabeth. Baby steps. Ta-da! This is what it looks like. Now, it's not quite so wide right here in real life, but he wanted a design in the floor. Kilobyte, hello. Walked into an all-star chat. I know, my heart's beating a little fast right now. I'm feeling very like honored to have so many like Dinkum celebrities in my chat right now. But it does look like this up there. It's so cool. Wait, is this the same island as the museum? It is. They're right next door. And we weren't going to build the museum as big as the museum. We weren't going to build the library as big as the museum, but yeah, well then this happened. It's amazing how close it looks to the real thing. I know, right? Like, for those of you who are members, if you haven't checked out my New York City trip, I do have some stuff about the library. But you can come down here and you've got the title with the little concrete words. Secret keeper. But then if you come up here and you go in here, now we just replicated one room in the library, and that was wasn't this the research room, Sunny? It's still bigger. I know. I was like, seriously, like, don't go overboard. And then this happened. It was crazy. And then when we got the new bookcases, I came back in and replaced them all. But yeah, this is actually way bigger than the actual room. Sunny and I took a picture in here. Is this the library from the day after tomorrow? Yes. I think it is. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but yeah, I think it is. So you got all of that, and then, you know, again, Jersey was like, Sunny, Sarah, just replicate the other side. This is outrageous. I know, right? Insane. Because it was like, okay, Jersey. I mean, he went all out. All out. And so then you can come or walk around here. And then I did all of this because it was kind of like, we ran out of time being able to work together because I think it took, what, 2 or 3 streams, guys? And then I decided that I was gonna just build something. It's kind of hard to find pictures of the sides of the library. And I don't think this is based on anything real. I just was like, this is my imagination. We'll do what we want. They're part of the video, the members video. But then this is the back, and you look out over at the train tracks. We got we got statues everywhere. It really turned out, I think it turned out really good. It's massive, y'all. It's so big. But then also, too, what we did in the floor makes this kind of cool pattern. Oh, I see where I need to go back and put some pathing down. Oops, just kidding. Y'all didn't see that. These are not the droids you're looking for. So then you got this, and then I decided that because we had built the New York Public Library, that it would be cool to create a replica of the Bethesda Fountain in Central Park. And so here is that. It took for freaking ever. It was, oh my gosh, it was a long haul. And I think each one was like, what, 4 or 5 hours? So yeah, Bethesda Fountain. Replicating that little, if you look it up from certain angles, it looks pretty similar to this, I feel like. I think we did a pretty good job. Making things, you know. All right, so then, where am I at? Okay, so the library. So we could go Let's go look at the vineyard that Boozy and I built on a 2-stream collaborative event. Oh, we'll take a short little detour. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's back here. Hang on. I did a virtual walking tour through the Finch Quarter. I mean, no way we can do it exactly. Pictures and video, we do our best. Yeah. Yeah. And now having been there and seen it, though, I feel like Jersey and I did recreate it pretty damn close. So if you come over here, this is a museum, and there's like an entrance here, or exit, whatever you want to call it. And then for like a Halloween stream, I built this, the Grateful Dead. There's a mausoleum. And then we put people who, hey, Kilobyte, there you are. Rachel, there you are. Sherry Cola. People who were in the stream were like, I want to be on a Tombstone. So here you are. And then we did put like, I think Stranger Things had just come out or something. So we put some famous people on here. And then we've got another mausoleum thing over here. Lily and James Potter, Sirius Black. Butch Cassidy, Bonnie and Clyde. You know, just get silliness. You missed this one. Oh, I know. It was a lot of fun because Jersey showed up and a couple of other people. And then we created Fiona, Luna, their graves. Bob Newbie. I know, right? You did, Rebecca. You were here. Yeah, this was fun. It was a hoot. It was a hoot. But yeah, everybody who was in the chat who wanted to be on a tombstone got to be on a tombstone. That actually kind of hurts a little bit. Moving on. Whew. Sherry Cola got one twice. How did you get one twice? We need an angel statue to put on top of the fountain. I know. We need something. Yeah, that hits different, doesn't it? Anyway, here we go. The Grateful Dead. I forget who came up with that name. I'm so sorry to whoever the genius was behind that, but you did a fantastic job. I have the memory of a goldfish, just so you know. All right, so we're scooting. We're gonna go look at the vineyard, the winery. I know. I had forgotten about that. But Boozy and I did this over the course of a couple of streams, if I'm not mistaken. Sherry Cola must have had a split personality. Giggle Orchard, because whenever Boozy and I get together, it's just a laugh fest. You need a mannequin with raggy clothes and worms in its mouth, right? Steph off on her wormy mouth. So the library's over there. I gotta come back in and like do some manicured lawn, something or other, because this is a grown-up mess over here. But pretend like that mess doesn't exist, because, you know, this island is still a work in progress, you guys. Giggle Orchards, Vineyards, and Winery. Okay, so these guys here are supposed to mimic grapes on the vine. You got white wine and red wine. And that looks pretty damn cool. This was all Boozy's idea. I was like, I want you to come and build a vineyard on my island. And she was like, bet. And here she came with this amazing design. And you know, she basically rivals Jersey in these like geometric builds. Look at that. I just was like, tell me what to do. Moxie's doing a zombie island. I saw that. I saw that. Of course she would. And she's perfect for that. But then we got this cute little, all this stuff. You got, is it Cheeky, Clusters, Giggle Grapes, Tickle Tonic, Snicker Juice. See you later, Captain Price. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Naughty Nectar and Tipsy Vines. Booze Secco and Cabernet Sauvignon. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we did this in a cool square, which I really, really like that. Yeah, I know, right? She did a fantastic job. And then she built these little guest houses you can stay in, or these like little hotel rooms or whatever. At the time, I think she was building some hotel rooms on her island, and she was like, you know what? We can just do that over here. And I was like, go for it. Almost all of that was her. I was recreating her genius on the other side. You know, that's what happens when you hire out contractors to come and design for you. You just got to do the grunt work. So that is that. And then I think before we get down into all of these things, I think we need to take a trip. Do I have... Let's just get one of these out. Contractors. You know? Well, what else am I supposed to call them? All right, so this next build that we're about to see is based on a real place in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And I got this idea to build a resort because the very first video series on my channel was Sunny and I building a resort that I honeymooned in like 1,000 years ago. And we got to this point in the just, you know, extreme makeover part of this island, and I was like, you know, this island needs a resort, but we need an upgrade from the one we built before. So let's go take a look. This is not how you come into this hotel in real life, but you know, in Dinkum you gotta budget a little bit. So if you come over here, this is the front. Look at that signage, y'all. It looks so good. The hotel is pink. It is pink in real life. I thought that was so cool. I thought the pinks and the greens and the whites just had a very like Miami feel, circa 1960. The very first thing we built in this is I think a 6 or 7, 8 stream series of me building this entire area. And we started with the pool. Now in real life, this hotel resort has 3 pools like this one, and they're just kind of like, here's a pool, and then you go a little bit and here's another pool, and then you go a little bit and there's another pool, and it's just like in, and I was just like, that's a lot. I need to tone that down. So this is the toned down version with just the one pool. But you know, you come out of the hotel, actually the front of the hotel's on the other side, and it's like these series of pools with all these tropical like palm trees, and then you've got all these little like beach chair, like lounge chairs by the pool, and you know, little cabanas, not cabanas, but villas, you know, VIP hotel rooms. You can kind of see we were, you know, this was back before you could place things under pergolas. So there was a lot of place item commands. I hate what the waterfalls look like now. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that either. Each balcony is designed a little different. You can see Brainseer was here. He stuck blobfish everywhere. But they all have the same basic furniture. It's just ranged a little differently. But then yeah, you got this beautiful courtyard, and I thought that really kind of looked like something cool. Like it's almost like a statue in a way. You love this build? It was a lot of fun to create. It was one of my favorites to build. You know, I definitely like to build places I've been or places I want to go. And a lot of this I do from memory, but I also did pull up some pictures just to kind of have a look-see of what I was doing. And then these little villas here. So this is the front side, but every single one of these has their own little infinity pool, right? Private area back here. A great use of those perfect gems, right? Sometimes I have amazing ideas. Not often, but sometimes. So yeah, every balcony is a little bit different, but everybody has an infinity pool, right? And then you come out here, and of course all of us stole Soho's idea with the dirt printed loungers before we had any in the game. I've always wanted to build something like this, but I'm not creative. Rebecca, that's not true. And of course, you know, you could just require, you know, get some friends to help you. The shells are out of control. I gotta do some cleanup on aisle 12 here. And then if you come around here, you get the very nice restaurant dining experience that the hotel offers. Multiple levels for all of your dining needs. And of course, you know, umbrellas and tiki torches, because of course. Yeah, let's do it. We should do like some collaborative stuff. I've got like little areas here and there. And then this hotel had these really expensive cabanas you could rent. And I really love, this is my favorite bed in the game. I know it's very minimal looking, but I thought that this fit perfectly with this build. And of course, we've got the rug on the ground, which is actually the towel, the beach towel that serves as a bed. And this rattan wicker basket stuff. It all just, I feel like it fit really, really well. I also wanted to create a slope down into the water, like a real beach. I got real tired of that real fast. That's a lot of dirt printing. A lot. So yeah, I replicated those several times because that's what that looks like. And this is, say, the front entrance. I'm telling you, he went out of control. Or Sunny did this. It was either him or Sunny or both of them. I also placed down a lot of coral and stuff out there. And then over here is our nightclub at the hotel. So you got like a special little VIP section over here, bottle service, you know, that kind of thing. And then up here is your dance floor. Missed the brain. I know. He had a lot of family stuff going on there for a while, and I think it's just internet life became overwhelming. I love the new copy pad. I know. Once I figured out how to use it, it was like, oh my god, where's this been my whole life? But yeah, so you get this cool little disco dance club, right? So if we come back around here, let's change the time of day just ever so slightly. And then I haven't come back to build the rest of them. I just built the one, but I wanted to do several of them over here. And these are like the private villa houses that you could rent. I was going to do another one. I was going to do several of them over there on that island. Up in the hills, you know. But this was the prototype. And again, it's basically the hotel room, slightly reconfigured. Instead of the pool being off the back, you've got this nice little patio area. And you come down here, and this is the pool area. So it's just a little bit different. But I really, I don't know, it was just easier to replicate something I'd already built and then just change it up ever so slightly to give it a new design so that it fit in with the hotel, but it wasn't the hotel. And then of course we were going to build more over there on that little hill area. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I need to do some sort of transition from here to here, but it looks good with the new tile, right? I think the texture on it really kind of adds something. I haven't played with it yet. I don't want to do things on my island. So been playing on my new one. Tempted to make a creative after this, right? You're making you weak. Steph, you've got to get back into it. You have to. One of these streams during this build was when Sunny joined chat fussing about the cable people not realizing you were live. I remember that. Oh, it was so good. She was on a tear and it was fantastic. So you guys know about like the over-the-water bungalows, you know, that happen like in Fiji or whatnot. Well, I wanted to make some. And so this island over here was perfect for that. And I wanted it to look very jungle-y, grown up, you know, something like out of the White Lotus, you know? If you know, you know. And so I cut a path into this hill and I was like, I want there to be like little waterfalls coming off either side. And it just ended up looking really good. And then I basically just dirt printed these little bitty houses, these little bungalows, and put them on a floating platform, basically, out in the ocean. And then I made Sunny come over and do all the coral reef stuff. That was crazy. I didn't realize you were still streaming. I laughed so hard. It was the best thing ever. I had other bridges here, and when the update came out with these bridges, I was like, okay, these are perfect for that area. I had to change them out because it was just like, come on. And then you got the walkway to all the different bungalows, and I chose not to put them in a row, and I feel like that just looks more natural to how it is in real life. When you look at those pictures, those like drone pictures of the bungalows over the water, I feel like this is what they look like, you know? So I was like, yeah, let's leave it. I may have to go back and look at those streams. Yes, you should. But they're all basically the same. Of course, the little like outdoor areas may be slightly different in each one. But I knew I really wanted it to be super green and lush, and we put down a lot of plants. A lot of plants. So many plants. All the plants. I can't remember which episode of this build it was, but it's in there. Yeah, this entire area plus the resort, it may have been 12 streams. I don't know. It was a lot, y'all. It was like 3 and 4 hour ones. Okay. So I think that's all we've got up here. I think we need to come back over here. Hang on. Where's my telecaller? And start over here. I think Sarah was working on the disco part. Susan remembers this so well. I do not. I don't remember it as well. I need to know what the cable people did. Yeah. This little walking trail, you accidentally closed the train tunnel. You mean you flooded the train tunnel? That was also peak streaming. We need a pergola with hatched grass. Ooh, that's another one we can tell James about. I decided to make like just a walking trail, and I used a lot of the ramping to make it look more sloped and not quite so many hard edges. Something was supposed to be planted there. Pretend like you don't see that. Anyway, you've got this beautiful little walking trail. You come back here, and this will take you to the 5x5 design challenge area, where I built a bunch of little 5x5 spaces. Now, this is perfect for anybody who is a vanilla player and they want little bitty decorative ideas, but they don't want like something massive like the museum or the library. Let's just say they really made her mad. I know. Yeah, and I thought I had one down there. I don't know what happened. Something got picked up and it never got back down. Don't get me started. So yeah, we this was done over, I think, one of the holiday streams, either Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I streamed for several hours. I saw the train flooding in the live action. Oh my god, that was top tier. And I put down little floor plaques on who gave me the idea in chat that day. So what we did was I started streaming and people in chat were like, you need to design this area or you need to design that area. So I was doing it in real time. You know, they're like, okay, you should do a, fireplace area because it was winter time. And I was like, you need to do a trophy room. And so they would just, keep calling out ideas. I think I have a better thing to do here now that we've got the marble pergola. And everyone heard my reaction. It was so good. Oh my god. But like, look how cool. This was fun to do. This one we decided to combine 2 5x5 areas. To make that idea happen. But yeah, this is fun. We got the sushi bar, you got the little flower stand, you got the little arcade, toy shop. um, farmer's market. You got the honey. You've got this little garage. You come over here, you've got a mini museum, a mini disco dance party, a costume area. I think that was Beer Invader's idea. A little hot cocoa stand, and then pictures with Santa because it was Christmas time. So I think it was a lot of fun to do. All right, let's go back this way real quick. I love this scooter. Okay. I got real excited about designing an area for Irwin because I'd never really done anything great with the animal area. And so I thought it was really cool to do this like fencing pillar thing and then create this like almost like zoo-like entrance. Irwin's Animal Paradise. I realize now how small this area is, and I was like, man, I wish I had made it bigger. But we got the little dogs. You got the adoption center for, they're very sick and dirty and hungry probably, and I'm ashamed for y'all to see them like this, but let's be real, I'm never going to take care of them, so it is what it is. I didn't terraform any of this. I basically just put ramps down where I wanted it to slope, you know? And then I put some of the, like, the emus in here and the echidnas, and there's some roos just hanging out, some frillies, just, you know, natural habitats. Natural. And then if you go back over here, I can already see what a gigantic mess it is. We haven't cleaned house in a while. It's gonna be fine. Oh, sweet Jesus. Well, this is embarrassing. Look at this, it's so bad. It looked so much nicer before the animals went crazy crapping everywhere. But I've got some zones. I've got the wombat zone, and I've got the chicken zone, and I've got the pleep zone, and then these disgusting rat babies. They have a zone as well. And then the penguins used to be over here, and then my lovely friend Regina was like, I've got an idea. And we decided to build an entire giant penguin enclosure. Pam, if I leave a chest in the reef, will that matter? If you leave a chest? No, you can leave them if you want. Let's be clear, those mutts can go. I mean, they're just ones and zeros, it's fine. But look at this. Look at this. Now, I know that probably the penguins one finds in Australia are probably not living in an ice cube like this, but I thought it turned out really cute. And Regina did a good job, and Susan and Sunny and Rebecca came over and helped us build it. And look at that. Just look at them. Big dumb babies. Don't let Debo see your animals. I know. I know. You're lucky it has a tree. Big Jim B don't like it when them penguins don't have trees. Oh, trees were a must. The pine trees for sure. Because that's the area on your island where you find them. You find them way out. Where is it? Way out down here on the pine tree area. So... yeah, no, you can leave them if you want. And we got the little chicken houses for them. They're all sick. Again, Debos, I do apologize if you watch this later. You can come over and take care of them if you'd like. But yeah, this was Regina's penguin area. And I think this entire area needs to be cleaned up, but I'm not doing that right now. Oh my God. Oh, that's embarrassing. Boy, do I feel sheepish. All right, and then this area over here. Okay, Rain's area in every island has always just been a giant mess. I was just like, you know, Rain's a hippie. In my mind, she just comes across as being like a hippie. And so she would just be like, Mother Nature is going to do its thing. And yeah, babe, it's all just, you know, we're just going to let the plants flow. I was like, screw that idea. She can be a hippie all day she wants on other islands, but on this one, she's going to have a very well kept and fancy nursery area. And so, thus, Rain's Plants was born. I had so much fun working on this. I worked on this for like 2 weeks to do a video about it. And I mean, every free moment I had, I was working on this thing. I buried the giant mushroom lamps because I thought that looked cool. Put myself on the back. And then we put down some pergolas and some acacia trees to create, again, that overgrown. Well, now I can just put down the pergolas with the vines on them. But we had to kind of improvise back then, and, you know, it's fine. Right here around the actual greenhouse, I can't fit through there. Whoopsie. We've got, you know, plants and flowers for sale. And then if you come back here, there's the fruits and vegetables and things that you can harvest. We got like a little tool area. I was just like, I think this is like the best Rain's Plants area ever. Now, before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to come over here. There was a pond already here. I just basically left it as it was. Maybe, I think I shaped it up a little bit. It was a little wonky, and I was like, you know what? I want this to have a more of... I shaped it up a bit, but not much. And then we went to town with all the rocks and the plants. And then we put some fountains out there because I feel like if you went to a nursery, you know, they might have something like that. So anyway, I think that turned out really cute. So then I wanted to showcase all the plants and stuff in the game as best as I could at the time. And so here we have the little orchard, the fruit orchard. And I had done this idea with the flower boxes around the trees on another island, but I decided to sink them down in the ground instead of build them up. And I really like how this turned out better in a way. And of course I had to color coordinate the flowers and the fruit. I mean, I might be a little autistic. I don't know, but it was necessary. Okay. You don't have to do it, but I did. It was a compulsion, and I will do it again if I had to. And then back here, I used seasonal fertilizer to create this massive, massive garden. Massive. I mean, look at that. But look at how cool this shape looks, right? Looks pretty damn badass, I think. I copied the tree planter boxes, yeah. And then we've got all the flowers that are being propagated in these. I really wanted to use the tin flower boxes because I felt like that's in like raised bed gardening. That's what they use. And I just thought it looked really cool and I liked it. So I did it. And then we've got Honey and Mighty Spread because she's also a beekeeper in addition to her talent with all of the things that are green. And we created a little storage area for all the things that she would be using in on her nursery. And then if you come over here, you know, what nurseries complete without all the things that you can buy, potted plants, but then things for your garden, like flower pots and wind chimes and hanging baskets, all the different clay pots. Like if you go to like your home improvement store, Lowe's or Home Depot, and you go out into the garden section, it's set up similar to this. And I kind of stole this idea from Sunny because she has a pretty amazing like a home and garden center on her island, and I was like, I'm gonna steal your idea. And you got little market stands with stuff in them. Yeah, I just thought that was a really cool way to show off items in the game and create like a fun, you know, cohesive marketplace with all the plant life. And then I did this thing with the mushrooms and it just didn't turn out quite the way I envisioned. So I'm not super happy with this area, but we're gonna leave it. That's what ideas are for, to steal them. Yes, indeed. Um, but yeah, that's that. Rain's Nursery. Such a great, one of my favorite things. And before I go too far down that road, this is the airport. This was a struggle and a half to make this thing happen. I did not know what I was doing. This is what happens. Rymanora asked me earlier, are you not good at something? This was what I was not good at. I feel like this was a hot mess of a build. It turned out okay in the end, I guess. And you know, there's the runway. It's not like Susan's airport. And then we built a little hangar. I feel like this could be better. I'm just not sure what I would do differently. Actually, Jingle Bells, there is a video on my channel called Dinkum Design Ideas, and it's with SunnyAnn, I think is the title. Dinkum Design Ideas with SunnyAnn. I think it's volume 3. Yeah. It's not the whole island, but it's a lot of really great ideas on her island. It is better than my best. Whatever. So I'm not super happy with this airport. I don't feel like it matches the vibe of the island. But I like the central location of it because I put my extra telepad here and it is a great teleporting spot. So maybe it makes sense in that way. I'm going to have to do something behind the airport. So maybe that'll make it look less trashy to me in the end. And I don't know if we should just leave all this, whatever. Yeah, you'll definitely check it out. Yeah, she's got a lot of amazing ideas. So many good ideas. And then, of course, you know, your airport has to have a parking lot. And so that these lamps, these parking lot lamps had just come out. Don't let Rye fool you. She's got a lot of great ideas and she does a fantastic job. So that's the airport, the helipad, and the hot air balloon extravaganza here. Oh, yeah, you can see I sleep here a lot. You know, it'll do for now. It's fine. And then we've got, I gotta say, I was really feeling myself with this build. I know no one else is impressed with it, but I was impressed with myself for building it. You are too, you goofball. I have never built anything like this in Dinkum, and so not to this scale. And so I wanted to build a little lawnmower raceway. A ray of sunshine. I know that people like Reeps and even Steph, they've built way better like racetracks in competitive areas. But for me, this was like a big challenge because I'm used to doing the other stuff y'all have seen. This is just not part of my wheelhouse. And then you got concessions and the bathroom. You know, two things that should go together. Because the stuff that's sold at the concessions is probably going to make you go to the bathroom at a place like this. But you got the little vending machines and the little kiosks. And if you go down here, you can use the John. The orchard rain area is a good idea too. Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca. And you got the winner's circle here. So we got Catalina Speedway. And the idea was to race lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers here. So there's a golden lawnmower with all the trophies and stuff. And so assume you start the starting line here, right? You're vroom, vroom, you know, you're going to go. So you go up here and you got the spectators. And I kind of like that was inspired by like Mario Kart and all the different like tracks that have different environments and biomes and things like that. You got the tailgaters over here. And so you go and you're like, woo, and then you come back down. Yay. It's just good fun. You circle around. But yeah, you got, I was trying to figure out how do I build a stadium when it's in a figure 8. And this was the best I could come up with, you guys. I'm sorry. It's not the greatest, but I was like, you know, if you want to watch from a certain perspective, you got several options. I think I made Sunny or somebody dress all these mannequins up. I was like, I'm tired of coming up with ideas. You did see the part. Yeah. Whatever. I just said I don't take care of the animals, which is so ironic because I'm taking care of so many animals in real life. But here's the, these are like the box seats, you know? These are the VIP area up here with like the really good tickets. And then back here is where you do all the maintenance and stuff to your lawnmower of choice, or, you know, your tricycle. It's really, I kind of was just like, you know what, we should have friends over and everybody just pick their poison and that's what we race with, you know? And then there's another concession stand area over here with the bathrooms and stuff as well, and kiosks and vending. You did dress all of them, yeah. But look how cool it looks at nighttime. And I wanted to incorporate the nature aspect of everything here in this area and the elevation changes without doing a lot of terraforming. And so I didn't. So I incorporated this build. It was very difficult for my brain to make this happen in a multi-elevation level area and also try to make it look fun and interesting. And small enough that someone who's trying to do something similar doesn't feel too terribly intimidated, hopefully. But like, look, isn't that cool? I think it looks so good. For me, anyway. I tell you what, let's go down here. Gotta love this thing. Gotta love it. I did this little area. Don't look. I did this little area for a video tutorial. Oh, don't look. I'm on the wrong... I came around the wrong side. Thank you, Jingle Bells. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to connect this with the rest of my island. But I built a little Japanese Zen garden. And this is actually a really great time to view it because it's got that soft yellow glow. But I turned all of this into sand. And I was ready to kill myself afterwards because that is such a chore. For anybody who's done any kind of changing of the dirt types knows the struggle. And so I did this for a video idea, kind of a speed build situation. So if you want to see how I did it or my thought process while I was doing it, because I don't remember now, but here we are. And I wanted it to be, you know, serene. And I feel like you kind of achieve that with this. You know, you can just come and, you know, just sit and contemplate life. Don't look, immediately looks. I know. I changed the sand to dirt. It took forever. Oh my god, it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Okay, and then this is a cool area. We'll just fly over there. It was actually featured on the Dinkum YouTube channel. So that was exciting. Yay, me. This is part of our train track that we laid down. Also, oh, I need to go back and show y'all the little rice paddy that Megan made. But Megan helped me, I think, on this. I think. I can't remember now. But anyway, you come over here and we've got a train depot station, which I need to go back and build several more of these all over the island. But this is Snowdon Depot, where the southern part of your island, and it was Christmas time when I was building this, or holidays. So you come down here and the train comes and does the little turnabout. Well, I don't need to do this little silly workaround to make the circle now, but at the time you had to get creative. James should make the carpet rolls out of dirt and sand. That would be a lot easier. It would. I don't know that that's ever going to be a thing. But then if you walk down this long corridor here, You enter the Christmas Winter Wonderland. And yeah, during the holidays, I think they featured mine, Steph's, Reap's, and a couple of other people's Christmas villages. But here you come in, you got all the Christmas decor from the game. And Rebecca helped me with this, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And then you got the little ice skating area. I miss how the ice pathing used to look when it first came out. But then we put all the little skaters skating together, single or separate, or we got some figure skaters here. And then if you come around, oh no, you gotta go this way. If you come around this way, you are met with this beautiful picture area where you can get your picture with Santa and an elf. And this Christmas tree is inspired by Steffa. She built a Christmas tree out of little Christmas trees, a giant Christmas tree. And so that's what we did here to make this wonderful photo op area where you can get your picture taken with Santa Claus. And then if you come over here, you got this teeny tiny miniature petting zoo of the boomers and the penguins. This is animal cruelty with how small that area is, but you know, we're gonna pretend for a minute that it's all good. And then I've got my Christmas tree farm. So we've got some of the actual Christmas tree items in the game, and then I put regular pine trees kind of interspersed, you know, throughout this whole area. I put the Christmas tree to light up the area because it has a slight illumination. And then, of course, we did the festoon lights to also create some lighting here. But I really like this little Christmas tree farm area. And then Sunny made this entire, like, carolers. I love building Dinkum Christmas, right? It's so cute. And these, like, colored festoon lights just, oh, they make it so great. I gotta come and mow. What the heck is happening here? Jeez Louise. So we got the little, you know, your little snack kiosks and whatnot, your souvenirs, treats. Very well done. Well, thank you. So yeah, Rebecca, I think she helped with the entrance area over there. Sunny did this caroling area. And then if you come back here, you can go tobogganing. Oh, drop. Drop that. Can I get on it? You know what? We're going to use our scooter because we can. And then there's hay bales here to keep you from falling off into the ocean. But then there's like, oh, hang on. I need to change the time. Crap. Then I need to eat because my stamina got low. And I'm like, why can't I scoot? Sarah, yeah, they're like 7 roos in a cardboard box, but it's all good. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Little mini Christmas trees. And you'll notice here that I mixed the marble and the white tile pathing to like cut down on how, because like the white tile pathing was like, what? It was too much for the eyeballs. Thanks, Jingle Bells. I mean, it matches your name. T-Bird, Android for life. This is why we're friends. I agree. Oh, hang on. That's not what I want to do. Yeah, now you can use the scooter to go down the little sledding area. Isn't that fun? So that's my little Christmas area. It stays Christmas all year long. Let's go over here real quick. All right, so this is my mine area, and I decided to put it really close to a teletower so I could easily travel to it. And I did kind of put it in a lot of my other islands. It's in the middle of my island. I decided to put it off to one side so that whenever I went down into the mine, I just knew to always go east. Let's put this out so I'm not constantly carrying something in my hand. So anyway, you got this mining area, and I decided to build up like a quarry. And I got this idea from Rymanora. She's been like saying how terrible she is at designing things this entire stream, but she's a liar. This was inspired by her. So take that. We dropped a bunch of like tools down and barrels, and you know, of course, we put the quarries down to create all the ore here. And, you know, I just basically just vomited out stuff. I love the Christmas ski village on Animal Crossing. Yeah, that does look really cute. And then over here, I did like a little camp area for the mine workers, you know, for when they came out of the mine, they could, you know, come lay down and take a nap or get some rest. Listen, you listen. You're a big old liar. This area was already elevated. It was already kind of in a half moon shape. And so I just kind of built it up a little bit more and then went crazy with the rock wand. Would like to note that you're inspired by Rymanora area was the same area you vomited out stuff. But like she did a quarry better than this, okay? And I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna just sprinkle some shit everywhere and then it'll be good. Don't mind her. She can't read. You can't read. iPhones are good for older people. Oh, wait, Sunny. Good one. Good one. Okay, so that's the mine. It's not anything special. It's kind of simple. But I thought it was a cool idea for people who were like, I don't know what to do with this area. I just plop my mine down and it looks like crap. Man, well, here's what you can do. And I put it down in a hole. Mariah's ridiculous. We all should, yeah, she can build. She's a liar. Lies. Hey, don't make me come over there. This chat is full of lying liars who lie. The only liar I know is you. Okay, all right, so this, when we got the train update, you guys, animal tracks, this was a big build that I did over the course of a couple of streams for my giant Grand Central Station depot, right? So, where am I? I'm disoriented here. So this is what the building looks like from the front. Rymanora, I know. I had a lot of fun putting this together because I got to like mess around with a bunch of shapes and texture, shapes and textures together. There we go. I have sees it with me own eyes. Yeah, we've all seen it all with our own eyeballs. Rymanora, you can't hide. You can't hide. I heard you could get big shells occasionally now. Has anyone gotten one? I have been too busy building things to pay attention to the shells, so I need to go looking for some on my vanilla island. And with that Animal Tracks update, we could finally put wallpaper on these interior walls and stuff outside. So here's my train station. Look how cool it looks. I did such a fantastically fabulous job at this. I mean, really, honestly, I should be, you know, put in like some sort of Dinkum Designers Hall of Fame or whatever. I'm kidding. But yeah, I really, really, really loved how this building turned out. And then I turned those little lamps together to make that kind of cool light fixture. It's basically the two wrought iron just facing each other. James loves wind shells so much he made giant ones. Oh yeah. Yeah. And so then you got the little covered train area, and then you come up here to this like little plaza, okay? Uh-oh, we're getting an Amber Alert. I need to be picking up more shells then. Yes. So yeah, this is kind of like a waiting area out here if you want. I don't know what I was thinking with this, but it turned out really good and it looks really cool like on the whatchamacallit. So I had a lot of fun building this. You know, like I said, every update inspires some new amazing idea. And I think I looked up a building and did kind of base this building on that. But like even the two roofs facing each other kind of create this like fleur-de-lis pattern. So, you know, you just have to like play around with all the different items. And, you know, who would have thought you put all that stuff together to make a roof line? What's your Amber Alert for? Well, I heard it going off in the girls' room, so I don't know, but it's not on my phone. And then let me change the time of day. So then you come over here, and this is the most recent thing I've built. I think we've covered everything. I cannot believe that, but we've covered almost everything. I started this with the most recent update of the Great Bite. And this is our Reeps Memorial Botanical Garden. The very first stream of this, I built this building, and I was really pleased with how this came out. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. And, you know, if you guys were there for that stream, you saw the struggle bus of me trying to figure out what level to put different things at and how to make it, you know, look like something cool, and try to make like a domed shaped looking roof, you know. And then so the building we got done in the first stream after some stops and starts, and then we started decorating. And so this is where we've gotten in the last couple of streams. I have a cat that just tried to bite my toe. That's fun. And then if you come over here, you love it. I know this is probably like my favorite thing I've ever built. You come over here and you got Reeps' little statue with a doggo. And all the little candles. Those little votive candles are new items in the game. Thank you, guys. I got a lot of the new plants and foliage out. I don't know. All this new stuff just screamed botanical garden to me. And so I was like, here we go. This is what we're doing. And I don't know who suggested, I can't remember now who suggested this like checkered pattern, but I love it. And these are the new pergolas, the vine-covered one, and the lights. And I was like, we've got to use all of the new things. This fencing is even new. I was like, all the new things. It's so great. And then if you go over here to this side, thank you. Y'all are amazing. This was also based on some pictures, too. I used pictures as inspiration. This is where we stopped last time, so we'll have to pick back up here on, I guess it's tomorrow afternoon. The dog is snoring so loud I can't hear anything. You did amazing. Thank you. Yeah, this is what we worked on last stream. I wanted the other side to look different. And that way, you know, depending on which area, which way you came at it, it would look, you know, you'd have two different experiences. The dog, yes. I love that pebble dirt. Yes, I know. It's like all the new items are just so great. Uh-oh. A fish spawned in there, but you know what? It works. So yeah, we've got this like water features, but they're full of plants. So that's where we stopped. And then I guess tomorrow we're going to pick back up over here. I did a little homework, as you can see. I cleared out some of this mountain area. But yeah, I'm really, really, really pleased with how this area came out. It's been a while since I've felt creative in Dinkum. And this update gave me a lot of inspiration. And I think I think I channeled Reeps pretty well for this build, considering it's in memorial to him. Hey. Can you stop? You want to say hi to everybody? Hello? No? Okay. He always has his head down. Every time I pick him up, it's like, I know there's a camera there. I'm not going to perform for you. There's this rice paddy area I completely forgot to show you. I mean, it's just a rice paddy. I think that's the only thing. It's the only thing we didn't look at. Yeah, I had a lot of help with this island. A lot of people came and, Mocha, I know. Came and offered their creativity and design expertise. I wish I'd kept better track of who built what where, because now I can only have vague recollections. Like, I remember one or two names, and I know more people than that. So if you participated and you watch the stream back later, and I didn't mention your name. I do apologize. I regret now not putting signage or something in every build, like this area was helped build by XYZ, you know, that way when I, you know, 2 years later, I can be like, oh yeah, that person helped me. It used to kill me taking over your members' videos. What a ham. I know. So yeah, this island has been, guys, when did I start streaming this? Was this shortly after I started streaming entirely? That would have been almost October, maybe October of 2023. So I've been working on this island for a long time. So for those of you out there that are like, my island will never look like this, I put in almost 3 years of real time into this island. So anybody can do anything anywhere. There's a lot of ideas on this island for really small areas. You know, not everything has to look like that. Or like that. Or like that. You know, you've got a bunch of little areas like this down here that can be lots of little space fillers. And I think that's a lot easier for people to manage, especially in the beginning, because believe it or not, if you've seen the wonderful Steph Oz designs or Rise stuff or Reaps or Jersey, none of us started out doing it like this. Okay. Like we built up to that. It's been a long time, right? Yeah, Mocha's on the desk behind, always wanting in front of the camera. And then when I get him in front of the camera, he's a jerk about it. Yeah, I see his, you little turd. Look at him. Dumb little butt. I'm jealous of how much you have done. Well, like I said, that's an investment of 3 years of my life. He swears the show is about him. I know. Hey, come here. Come here. Cats. He's just like looking at me. Look at him. Where is he? Is he over here? Over here. I'm directionally challenged. I will be watching what I missed tonight and stealing all your ideas. Steal away. I have no copyright on any of these ideas. Most of them are either from my real life travels or pictures I found on the internet that was like, I think I can build that in Dinkum. Sure, that's easy enough. Hey, what did you retract, Steph? I want to see. So hopefully, you know, showing off all the areas, kind of talking y'all through it, gives everybody, you know, something to work towards, or I'm sure most of you can just do it better. It takes time to build like this. Yeah. I mean, definitely go back and watch my very first video in this series where I do a tour. I was almost embarrassed to show you guys what it looked like before. That's where I started 4 years ago in Dinkum. Maybe that'll make you feel better. I'm having issues typing, so it made no sense. Oh, I have no ability to speak with any clarity tonight. So we're both in the same boat tonight. I've stolen her neighborhood idea already. Yeah, the neighborhood is one of my favorite areas. She inspires people to add to the creativity of what she builds. Yeah, I say take an idea and make it better. You probably can. I mean, obviously, people like Steph and Reaps, they've taken ideas that I've done and made them better. And I've taken their ideas and I've just copied them, really. If you want to build a botanical garden, by all means, steal away, or any of the things you've seen tonight. The future plans for this area is going to be another part of the botanical garden, but it's going to be a lot more natural looking, and we're going to do waterfalls and some bridges and just walking paths, and maybe have like little plaques on the ground to kind of say what the plants are. You know how when you walk through some places like that, they have like little plaques on the ground, you know, or not on the ground, but they have these little plaques in front of the plants, you know, saying what kind of plant it is, that kind of thing. I think that would be a really cool way to bring very manicured, very proper, very, this is beautiful and aesthetic. And then you have the more natural side of the botanical garden over here. Definitely approve, girl. I'm a good copier. As far as anything else, I don't know. I can copy a picture like nobody's business. Yeah. This is my very first Dinkum island that got a big old makeover, and I've been working on it for many, many years. And, you know, I'm pretty proud of it. It's definitely a timestamp, all the different things you saw, starting with down here. You know, you can see the progression, you can see the change in design, how, you know, I think it's a really cool, like, and I'm sure people like Steph and those guys all feel the same way. You can see the progression of how your island just, you know. I'm not listening to you. It's like a cool time capsule, you know? It's just, I don't know. I hope y'all all feel this way about your islands as well. And I'm so glad y'all came and hung out with me tonight while we did this. This was fun. I was at a loss as to what to stream on Thursday night, and then it just hit me. Several people over the last several weeks have been like, you should do a tour of this island. And I was like, I'll just do the tour. Let's just do that. Talk about not being able to type. I'm surprised I've managed to stay coherent. I have literally gotten like 3 hours of sleep a night for like this entire week. And so the fact that I've made it and strung coherent words together for the 2 hours I've been streaming is a feat in and of itself. I have a full island. I know, we're so close. Susan, look, I've got this little area is going to get filled in. I already know what that's going to be. So we just have like, and I already know what's going over here on this island. I just got to make it happen. So we've got some little areas. Maybe what we should do is I should invite people over and give them a space and be like, build something amazing. And then this whole area down here is completely undeveloped. So get those thinking caps on. Oh, and this area too. This big swath of space right here, nothing. So y'all be thinking and then tell me what you think I should build and we will try to make that happen. But yeah, I was trying to say you've been indicted for stealing in Dinkum. I should be. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoys this. If you're watching later, if you want to go back and watch it later, I'm going to try to, not tonight because I'm exhausted, but tomorrow I'm going to try to go through the video and timestamp all the different areas so that somebody watching it later will be able to easily find something they want to see. I asked this in Discord, but maybe someone in chat will have a review. Anyone playing Pokopia on Switch 2? What are your thoughts? I've been working on the Bayou Island since I started my channel, but it's been so long. I know. Y'all should really go check out Stefafa. Do I still have the quick command shout outs? Because she has got, if you think this was impressive, just you wait. Go check out her stuff. She's not streaming or doing any videos right now, but we're on a hiatus. I'm sure she'll be back better than ever at some point in the future. I'll be glad to do the grunt work. Absolutely. Let's do it. That would be awesome. Have viewers take over the island. Yeah, like I want to do something where I kind of mark off an area of like a 20 by 20 area or something, or whatever y'all think is manageable, and then just say, build what you want in that space. Sorry, T-Bird, don't have a Switch 2 or that game. Timestamps would be fantastic. Yeah, I will try to do that. Y'all remind me. But yeah, T-Bird, if you, I know Jersey's been playing, he's been playing Pokopia, and then also April Honey has been playing it on her Honey After Dark, which is not what I just linked. But she's been building stuff on that channel. She's probably got a link somewhere on her actual YouTube channel for the new channel. I wouldn't be able to join as I couldn't create anything great. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Or you could team up with somebody else and do the grunt work with them. So that's going to be, I need to think on it. Maybe find an area and like clear it out and just mark it off and let y'all go to town. How are you liking the Switch 2, Sarah? Was it worth it? I'm really happy my kids gave it to me for a Christmas present. I was playing Animal Crossing on it. It definitely runs better than the old Switch for sure. Hey, Naomi, welcome. You love Pokopia. I have been so tempted to get it, but the problem is that game's expensive. And I am spoiled with Steam game prices being like $15 and $20, and then, you know, console games being like $80 now. Jade Miss has been playing it too. Yes, Jade Miss Gaming has also been playing it. I think I have Jade's shout out. Some of these I turned off and some of them I didn't. I hope that works. But yeah, Jade Miss Gaming's been playing. There's quite a few people have been playing it, but I haven't. I just, it's a lot of money to spend on a game, and I'm not that interested in Pokemon. But I really, really like the building mechanics of that game. And Gigi's Game Room, her channel, she built an amazing replica of Dinkum in Pokopia. Y'all got to go check that out. Of course, my shout outs aren't working now. Console games are so high. I mean, especially for the Switch 2. That is probably the biggest drawback about Switch 2 games. They're so expensive. $70 and $80, y'all. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But they're gonna get me when a new Zelda game comes out. I'll plunk down whatever amount of money they end up charging, which is sad, but I will do it. And I will be playing it on the channel, so buckle in. When Nintendo announces the next Zelda game, we will be playing it. Or the next Animal Crossing game. Either one. So, we shall see. I really, really am pissed that Gigi's link did not work. My shortcuts are not working out. Let me go see if I can find it really quickly, because y'all need to see that. That was just... Can I find the video where she was playing that? Dinkum Inside Pokopia. This one right here, I think. I think this is it. Really, y'all, it's totally worth it to check this out. Come on. Why is nothing working? My computer's stupid, y'all. The cost is crazy, but if I'm going to enjoy it for many hours, I'm okay with it. Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know what the longevity is and playability for me. Because I like the building mechanic, but then I got a million games that I can build in. You know what I mean? So, there is that. We will be streaming more Dinkum tomorrow. We're going to be working in this build right here. And then on Saturday, we're going to play some Enshrouded. I need to open up more of that map, y'all. That map is massive, and we've opened up, like, this much. Hopefully, T-Bird's going to come join us. Maybe we can talk Beer Invaders. Maybe, Catalina. I know Debos is busy. And anybody else who's playing Enshrouded who wants to come hang out, you're welcome to do so. It really is amazing. Thank you. I don't know if you're talking about Pokopia or this, but either way, it's good. And then we'll be back on our Vanilla Island on Sunday, and you can do a lot more customizations with the houses now, so we're going to be working on some of that. And yeah, that's what we have in plan. If you're a member and you want to play the new Palia update, I'm going to do a members only stream next Tuesday night, so set your clocks. Your sister wants to play together. Aw, T-Bird, that almost makes it worth it. Ash! Good morning. Oh no, good night. I know, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm so sorry to have missed you, but thanks for coming in. You guys, Ash is also used to stream some Dinkum. He's kind of abandoned us for other games, but talk about another really creative cutie right there. That is Ash. I don't know why these shout outs aren't working. Anyway, amazing people. I've got cats that are losing their minds, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up, unfortunately. But I've had a fantastic time with you guys tonight, and it looks like the Battle of the Phones is basically, woo, Android eked out a win. Booyah! I'll catch the VOD. I blame Rye for trauma with shipwrecks. Yeah, well, you know, you guys you'll have a trauma bond for sure. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. This was fun. It was nice to get to hang out and just show everything off and not really have to work after a very long day of actual work. So thank y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button. And for those of you watching this later, I should hopefully have this all time-stamped sometime tomorrow. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your night. I hope I see you sometime this weekend. But if I don't, take it easy. And to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. And stay well, stay safe, all the things. Love you guys. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.